The next thing we'll talk about is collaborators. How do we add collaborators to a repo? Now that's different, right? Working with somebody on a GitHub repo is different from just making a repo public. When I say working with collaborators, I mean allowing other users to push changes to the repository. When a repo is public, anybody can take like any of these public repos, not this one that we made private. They can take any of these public repos and clone them, make their own changes and commits, but they can't push them back up to my copy. Nobody can just take over a repo without me granting them permission. Otherwise, they could delete everything and then just push up an empty version. That's not how it works. I have to grant people collaboration privileges. So I'll show you how to do that. I have two accounts, right? I already explained that. I have Colt and then I have Stevie. And why don't I add Stevie to this bookish disco repository and give him permission to push? So I'm logged in as Colt, the owner. There's nothing even in here. If I go into settings, under settings, we've been here to options. This is where we change something from public to private and vice versa. We also have manage access. And this is where I can add direct access collaborators. So here's visibility, right? Only those with access can even view it in the first place. Right now, that's just me, just Colt. But I'm going to change that. I'm going to invite Stevie. So to do that, I need to know Stevie's GitHub username or his email. Now, I think if I remember, I just did Stevie Chicks like that. Yep, there he is. I'm going to click, and then I'm going to add Stevie Chicks to this repository. Okay, so that's just an invitation. So Stevie now has to actually go to his email that he signed up for GitHub with. He'll get a notification, or he'll get a message there. He has to click a link to accept the invite. So Stevie opens up his email. He clicks the link. I didn't show you that because it's my email inbox, but I clicked the link as Stevie, and this is what we see. Colt invited you to collaborate, accept or decline. So again, you can't just automatically add someone. It requires permission on both sides. I have to invite somebody and they have to accept. And so as Stevie, I will accept, but it does, it says, here's the information that Colt and other people will be able to have access to, your activity, where your request activity is coming from, basically country of origin, your IP address. Anyway, I'm going to hit accept. And now my view changes. I wasn't able to see this repository just a second ago because it's private, but now I'm a collaborator. If I go back to Colt's view, we see now, if I refresh the page, Stevie Chicks is listed as a collaborator. If I want to get rid of him or multiple collaborators, I can use checkboxes and then delete, but I am going to keep him as a collaborator. And so now, already we can see it's a private repo. Stevie has access to this repository. But what I'm going to demonstrate next is that Stevie also has push access. It's not just about viewing the project on GitHub, although that is new because it's private. He's a collaborator. He can view it. I can also clone and push my changes up. However, Stevie does not have access to settings, right? Stevie is not the owner. Stevie is a collaborator, but the owner is Colt. I'm the only one who sees settings. If I go to Stevie's side, that doesn't exist. So that is an important distinction. Being a collaborator, it's not like you can do everything, right? You can't delete the repository. I can't invite my own people here. I can't delete other people or remove their privileges. With different levels, different tiers, you definitely can have those features. Like organization and enterprise tiers, you on GitHub, you can have multiple owners. So permissions are different. So next up, I'll show you what it's like to collaborate and actually make some commits and push them up from two different accounts.